Well, hey everyone. We are so excited to be with you today. You can tell I am here with Anthony Cudjo. He is an amazing coach. He's the coach at Human Optimization. And we've actually been chatting before we put record on and went, we're missing some great stuff. So here we go. Welcome back to the Brain Soul Success Show, everyone. I am here again with head coach at Human Optimization, Anthony Cudjo. He's a leading expert in performance by optimizing various aspects of life, physical, mental, and emotional health. And that's where we align, Anthony. This is going to be awesome. Boasting over 3 decades of experience in business, consulting, and executive coaching, he is widely recognized as the teacher of teachers, the leader of leaders, for his work empowering individuals and communities to reach their full potential and achieving their harmony in spirit, mind, and body. Coach Cudjo is a graduate of Dale Carnegie and Landmark Forum. He holds certificates as an advanced NLP practitioner, personal trainer, and a life coach, nutritionist, and metabolic specialist. He's a former professional athlete. I know we're going to hear his story on that today too. And he also hosted Fitness RX show on ESPN Radio, where he started his expertise in health and wellness with a wide audience, reaching thousands and thousands of people. So, wow, welcome to the show, Coach Cudjo. I'm so excited to be with you today.
Louise, I will tell you this. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you, and I am truly excited to be here. And I am here to serve, and that's it. End of story. I'm here to serve, and I'm here to actually help people to see themselves, their lives, and their existence totally different than they've ever seen it before.
Ooh, nice. I like how you said that. Awesome. Well, I know that you played football, right? You played football in high school and in college.
Yes, I come from a long line of football players. My dad played football, his brothers played football. None of them made it to the NFL. So, of course, they put that responsibility on my shoulder. And I was doing very well as an athlete in high school. I got a scholarship to college in
Mhm.
Oklahoma. It wasn't at OU, it was at a 4-year university in the community that I lived in. I was not strong enough academically to go to OU. So what I was going to do was, of course, get my grades up so that I could get accepted at OU and be at a higher level of playing football. But that wasn't the plan for me. I thought that was the plan.
Uh-huh.
That wasn't the
Yes.
DNA. That wasn't the blueprint that was stamped in my DNA, which we all have that, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today, hopefully.
Mhm.
But I did. I had a tragic moment my freshman year of college. I was a fullback. I was on the field probably 90% of the time. I did kickoff return, punt return. I was on defense as a cornerback, defensive cornerback, not quarterback, but corner,
Okay.
Corner.
Okay.
And then I also was a fullback on offense, but I was averaging about 10.5 yards a carry as a fullback. So I was leading the nation actually in carrying the ball. And then one hit, Louise, one hit,
Ooh.
it was all over. I blew out my ACL, my lateral meniscus on both my left and right knee. I blew out my L3, L4, L5, lower lumbar.
Mhm.
I remember when I got hit, I heard my knees pop and my back pop. I knew something serious had happened because I had been
Mhm.
hit before and knocked all over the field before, and it didn't. I always jumped back up and kept going. But when this happened to me, I knew something was going on serious.
Mhm.
I tried to stand up and I fell back down, and I just kind of waved over to the coaches and trainers to come help me. I got, of course, I walked off the field with their help, but then I was put on a gurney and they took me into the locker room. Afterwards, I went to go see the physicians. They, they told me, they gave me the diagnosis, told me that I needed knee surgery on both knees and surgery on my lower back if I wanted to continue to play football.
Ooh.
So yeah, you can imagine, all my
Yeah.
eggs was in that basket, and I thought that's who I was, and I thought that's what I was supposed to be doing, and that was my dream that was given to me by my family. It really disturbed me. I sat and I thought about all that for a while because again, technology was not where it is today. I mean, today they
Sure.
have orthoscopic surgery. They don't have to cut your body wide open to work on you, but back in the day they had to. and I
Mhm.
just was against it. Something in my soul.
Uh-huh.
I know what that is now, but back then I did not know. There was a voice inside of me that said, "Don't do it,"
Mhm.
and I kept hearing that voice louder and louder every day, that it got louder than what I was thinking. The voice became louder than what my coaches were telling me.
Mhm.
The voice became louder than what the doctors were telling me. So I just said, no, I'm not going to do it. I told my coach, no surgery. He goes, well, if you don't do the surgery, you can't play football. You can't play football. You lose your scholarship, so you can't get access to education. So I said,
Ooh.
so be it. And I walked off the field. I walked off playing from football, and actually, I went back around, and I had a lot of buddies that were still, of course, playing football, and they gave me their library pass so I could go in, and I went and educated myself. I went, I did. I
Good
started
for
studying
you.
kinesiology. I wanted to understand how my body worked. I was like, how am I going to fix my body? My knees were hurting,
Uh-huh.
my back was hurting, I couldn't run and walk. I was like, how am I going to fix this? I don't want to do the surgery. I don't want to go to the medical community to do it. So how am I going to do it? So I went in
Mhm.
and I started studying kinesiology and how the human body works.
Nice.
And then I started putting some of those principles in place. And then I just rehabbed myself 100%. Then I started working with other athletes that didn't want to do surgery, and started helping them as well, which started me on my path of rehabilitation and
Mhm.
helping people to rehabilitate themselves physically. And I realized I had a gift that God had gave me that I didn't even recognize, I didn't even know about it until this injury happened. So this injury
Wow.
kind of awakened me, if you will.
It did. It did. What a turning point for you. And good for you for like standing in your power and saying, there's another way, I'm going to figure it out. And you did.
Well, the thing that's so crazy is that it, I didn't figure it out.
Okay.
God figured it out and just
Nice.
gave me the plan and the path to
Hmm.
take.
Hmm.
And as soon as I said yes to my true calling, everything else showed up. Everything.
That is so powerful.
Everything showed up. My investors
Hmm.
showed up for my business. I
Uh-huh.
rehabbed myself. A lot of
Hmm.
clients started coming to me for me to help them.
Hmm.
It just showed up. And then I realized something that I want all your listeners to hear right now. And you guys got to forgive me if I get emotional about this.
I'm starting to cry too,
There's just so
Anthony.
many people on this planet that are in bondage.
Hmm.
They're in social bondage. You will not believe who you are. You're doubting what you feel in your soul and in your spirit. You know what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
How do I know you know what I'm talking about? Because it's been installed in every single human being on this planet. You are here for a purpose. You
Yes.
are here for a reason.
Hmm.
We say this all the time,
Hmm.
but I find people, they will not stop the world. They will not stop their lives. They will not get to a place of silence so they can
Hmm.
hear the divine speaking to them and showing and telling them what they're here for so you can walk in your calling. Because as soon as you say yes, everything else is given to you.
It's so true. It's so, my teacher said, if you're not using your gift in the world, you're dishonoring God.
And it's true. Let me
And
tell you what happens here with society. Me and my
yes,
wife were talking about this morning. See, society has a plan for you. And the society's plan will keep you in bondage. Why? Because it's all about money. Where do I go to get the most amount of money? How do I get the highest education so I can get the best job to make the most amount of money? What do I do to keep money coming in my home? It's all about monetary reasons. And the thing is, you're making your decisions backwards.
it's so
You
true.
follow your passions, profits will come.
Yep. So, I learned that too. Different story. People here know my story. I got super sick. I was on oxygen for 3 years. I had all my mercury fillings taken out in one day. So I
Wow.
crashed. I had two little kids to take care of, and I wanted to be their mom. I wanted to get healthy again. So just like you, I had to find my way.
Yeah.
Medical didn't help me at that time. So I had to like do it myself. That's how I became a naturopath. That's how I started my business. So God had a calling for me too.
Absolutely.
And, so we're very aligned that way. I call it getting back to 100% your soul truth.
Well, you know what? Here's the deal. When you get to your soul truth, you know what happens, Louise? And you're a perfect example of that. Your body
Mm.
heals itself.
Yeah, I mean, like, the more I do with people, the more I get better. It's just so interesting how that all
You want me,
works.
since I'm on your show, you want me to tell you how that happens?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. If you have some insight, this is the Brain Soul Success Show. You're like the perfect guest for this because I know that you're very godly and you have belief and you have this amazing story and you've used it to help, lots and lots of people. So your path was divine. It's divine.
You
It's
know,
in
and
your DNA.
yeah, and here's the deal. I want everybody to understand as I move forward, I can't get away from using this word God. And I know God has a lot of different meanings for a lot of different people, depending on where you come from. I
Right.
get that. I understand that. Understand when I say God so you can keep up with the conversation and understand what I'm trying to tell you. I am not giving you my opinion. I am giving you the law. You understand what I'm saying? The law of who you are, the
Hmm.
laws of your being, and the laws of life. You see, there are laws that govern everything, and most people don't understand, first of all, the laws of their biology. They don't understand the laws of their being, and they don't understand how to work within the laws of life to be successful. I'm going to give you an
Just
example of this before we go deeper into this conversation.
yeah, I want to know the laws, what you believe the laws are and what those are.
Well, I
Yes.
don't believe the laws. After thousands of people in 3.5 decades, it's not my belief, it's the truth.
Well, we want to hear that.
All right, so here we go. All right, so here
Yes.
we go. This is a really, really fun thing, and I'm going to use myself as an example. Okay, so yes, I came from trials and tribulations in my life. We don't need to go into all of that. I don't usually talk about my past because there is no past. There's only the moment of now. And when you start to understand that your
Mhm.
power is now, it isn't the power you had yesterday because yesterday is gone. It's not the power you're going to walk into tomorrow because tomorrow is just, it doesn't even exist. Okay, it's just a fragment. It's just a fragment of your mind. It's a false belief. All you
Mhm.
have is now. You're breathing right now. You're listening to me right now. You're even thinking about your life right now. So I need you to get into the moment of now to understand the power that you have as a human being. So here I am. Let's
Mhm.
talk about let's talk about Anthony. Let's see if he can be an example to the rest of the world. Here we
Okay.
go. I am. And when I say I mean you too. This is the common denominator of us as human beings.
Mhm.
I am an eternal spirit. What does that mean? That means there's no beginning or ending to me. That means that I am a portion and part of God. That's who I am. I've accepted that. I am God in disguise, and you're seeing God in the form of Anthony Cudjo. Okay?
Mhm.
That's the truth. Now, here's the deal. I made some decisions. See, I'm an eternal being. I have the essence of God in me. I'm all knowing. Oh, I know you don't want to believe that. That was a tough one for me to believe, too. I had to work through all of that. I am all knowing, which means I have access to all knowledge as soon as I ask for it.
Mhm.
I made a decision to come down here October 18th, 1965. So, yes, absolutely. In 3 days. Is it 3 days? No, it's actually
Oh,
two
you're
days.
gonna have a birthday. Yay.
2 days, I'll be
Happy
60 years
birthday.
old. I'll be older. And I don't celebrate my birthday. I don't do it. And the reason why is because when you do that, you think you're older, right? And so you start adopting the beliefs and philosophies that society has told you and taught you about being older. You're getting weaker. You're getting unhealthy. That's not what I believe for my life. So that's not what I experience for my life. So back to the story. Here I am. I'm a spirit. I made a decision to come down here on earth. I made a conscious decision to do that. I made a conscious decision to enter into this physical body as a black man. Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
I made that decision. I
Mhm.
made a conscious decision to enter into my family as well, my abusive parents. I did that as well. Why? Because that was part of the process of me having empathy and learning and designing my life to the level that it is right now. See, there is
Mhm.
no tragedies in your life, there's just
Mhm.
opportunities.
Mhm.
And it's what you do with that. It's what you can't find one human being that has not had some tragic situation in their lives. Why? That's the common denominator of life. Life is knocking on your door and asking you questions. That's what life does. There's no trials, there's no tribulations, there's no tests here. I want you guys to understand this. There's no
Mhm.
trials, tribulations, or tests.
Mhm.
There's just opportunities. And life knocks on your door all day with opportunities. It's
Yeah.
opportunities for you to choose who you decide you want to be. So here I am. I entered into this physical body, and guess what? There was a blueprint in my cells. There's a blueprint in your DNA. Everybody has one.
Mhm.
Now, let me explain to you what your DNA stands for real, not what society has taught you or what your doctor told you. Your DNA stands for the divine nature of the Almighty.
Oh, I like that.
Listen to me. There's some science
Mm.
behind this, and they're starting to pick
Mhm.
it up.
Mhm.
Now, Louise, you and I, we talked about me being on ESPN, and the show I was on, I was teaching some of this stuff way back in the day, and they thought I was really way out there with this stuff. But now science is starting to prove what I was talking about, over 20 years ago,
Mhm. You had
which is
insight.
amazing.
You had an intuition and an insight, and you followed it.
Yes, and we all do. I'm
Mhm.
trying to motivate people to follow that internal calling because when you do that, you'll make more money than you make working for someone else.
It's so true. I was a school teacher making 19,000 a year, and here I've owned 2 successful businesses, and literally I just do my passion every single day, and as long as I do my passion, it just comes.
It don't feel like work, does it?
No, I love my people. I love being with you right now. I love my people.
And the
Um,
beautiful thing about, you said yes to that, right? When that thought
uh-huh.
hit you, that idea hit you to make a change in your life, you didn't say no or you wouldn't be here. You said yes. And
Mhm.
here's the deal, life itself, every breath you take knows why you're here. Your body even knows why you're here. I told you it was stamped in your DNA, and your DNA is inside of your body. You got
Yes.
40 trillion plus cells that know why you're here. Your
Mhm.
cells know. I'm telling you, it's all designed and programmed inside of you. And most people just don't know that because we haven't been taught by society. They have to keep you weak and wondering so they can keep you in control.
Well, that's very true. I mean, you have to listen to your inner guidance, not what's out there. And I learned that DNA, the science behind DNA is a photon light. It's light.
Absolutely.
It's light. So, I mean, it can be changed. And the kids that are being born now at this time in our world, some of them have like an extra strand of DNA and they're really highly intuitive. And you can kind of see they're sort of saving their family as little kids. They're
Why do
like
you think that is? Why do you think that is, Louise? I'm going to
because
ask you.
it's divine intervention. It's supposed to be happening right now. We
Yeah.
we are all changing as human beings, and the messages that are happening, even the junk on the planet that's happening, whether it's the politics or whatever, it's pushing us to get closer to our God, closer to whatever God is to you. You know?
Everything. What I just
Yes.
say, I told you life itself knows why you're here.
Mm-hmm.
And so now what's happening on our planet with all this turmoil that we see, right? It's exactly what you're saying, Louise. Life itself is pushing us as humans to a higher level of understanding,
Yes.
a higher level of knowing,
Mm-hmm.
and a
Yes.
higher level of connection.
Yes.
That's what's
Absolutely.
going on right now.
Yes.
So when I
Yes.
see these issues happening on our planet, I'm a little disturbed because people are not waking up as quick as I would like for them to do, but I'm also joyous because I see the hand of evolution. Evolution itself will always move forward.
Mhm.
And you are an evolutionary being. That's who you are. That's who you are. It's stamped in your DNA. Your body is that way. That's who you are. So I would say get in harmony with that and don't fight that because if you fight it, you're going to lose.
So true. Yeah, anytime we're in resistance, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And the
My
reason
word
why is
this
because
year is flow,
we're
flow.
supposed to flow. Not, I tell people you can swim all you want to. Now you get a choice. You can swim against the current or you can swim with the current. It's your choice.
Yes,
You know
yes.
what? For so many years I swam against the current, man. I woke up with all these goals and ambitions and chasing my dreams and pushing forward and all these different things that just caused me to be so tired at the end of the day. And sometimes I was successful and sometimes I was not. but a lot of times I was in self-judgment. And when you judge yourself, you segregate yourself, you separate yourself, you minimize yourself, and you reduce your power.
Absolutely.
You reduce your creative power through self-judgment.
And we all have some like past trauma. You obviously cleared a lot of that old stuff. If you came from an, abusive household and stuff, you had to work on transmuting that, changing it, reframing it, becoming that powerful soul of who you really are. But some people have not done that work yet,
No, no. And the thing is,
you know?
again, I chose it. I made
hmm
the decision.
hmm
I tell people when you make a different decision, different things must happen. It's the law. So when you decide to be
hmm
healthy, then your body decides to be healthy too. And your body starts working on that. Now, if
Yeah,
you work in harmony with your body and assist your body with getting healthy, you're going to get healthy quicker, no matter what you're dealing with. No matter,
so
and I'm
true.
going to say it again,
hmm
no matter what you are dealing with in your physical body, if you're breathing, you can change it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Now, give us some stories, though. I know this is about you, but also you work with people. So, as a coach in your, human optimization company, give us some stories or, some tips on what you've done with other people, other maybe
Oh, sure.
athletes that you helped.
Yeah.
Give
Yeah.
us, tell us about that.
Well, I've kind of evolved out of working with athletes. It was great to do that, but I found a deeper calling outside of helping a guy run down the field faster or helping an athlete lift more weights or be more competitive on the field. That was fun.
Uh huh.
But I had a deeper calling. I opened a facility in Richmond, Virginia. It was called Fitness RX. My goal was to marry the allopathic community, which is Western medicine, with the homeopathic community, which is Eastern medicine.
Nice.
I always believed that in America, we were approaching sickness and disease the wrong way. We were
Mm-hmm.
not dealing with the whole human being because that's where every sickness and every disease starts is with the mind. It
Mm-hmm.
starts with your beliefs and then it
Mm-hmm.
manifests into your physical body because if you think it long enough and you believe it long enough, it has to manifest by law. It just has to.
Mm-hmm.
So, me working with people that had cancer and people that had type 2 diabetes, fibromyalgia, autoimmune disorders, all these things that the doctor
Mm-hmm.
said were incurable, I took those people on. And you know what? Through that journey, I discovered a lot of common denominators to our creation and our power.
Mm-hmm.
I've got clients right now. Matter of fact, Saturday of last weekend, October the 11th, I had one of my clients. His name is Richard Flom, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind me mentioning his name. He's absolutely amazing. He's the president of Blackstone, which is a large commercial real estate company here in Houston, Texas. He's 80 years old. We just set three more state records in powerlifting. Oh
Wow.
yeah. Oh, he's on the path. We're about to do worlds. He's about to do a world meet. I think that's going to happen in 2 months, and then we're going for the world record, Guinness Book of World Records, and I'm sure he's going to be successful there as well. Now, the beautiful thing about Richard is that he's a cancer survivor.
Mhm. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so the doctors are not understanding how this man is still alive and how he is doing powerlifting meets and how he's winning.
Oh, that's so awesome. Well, the power, right? The
But he's a
power of
perfect testament of
yes.
he's a perfect testament of being mentally strong. Now, you asked me how do I work with my clients? I'm a pretty hard coach, to be honest. A lot of people tell me they're like, Tony, man, you're rough. I'm like, no, I'm not rough. I'm real. I'm going to tell you what it takes, and if you're willing to do it, let's go. If you're not, get out of the way. So here's how you change what's going on. And I realize this: our internal conversation is the
Mm,
power. I'm going to say it again. Your
yes.
internal conversation is the power of your external creations.
Oh, that's good.
It's
That
the
is it.
power.
It is the power. It is the power. I always say what you tell yourself is more important than what you tell other people. It's what you say to yourself.
Yeah.
That is the key.
So how do I, when I got people that are broke financially or they're broke physically or their lives are not working the way that they want them to work,
Mhm.
I know I have to change that internal conversation because the internal conversation is what caused it. So how do I turn? I'm a pretty powerful person and I'm pretty
Mhm.
good at being a trainer, but I'm not strong enough, Louise, to change your internal conversation. God gave that power to you. You're the only one who
Exactly.
can change it.
Exactly.
I have found one thing that
Mhm.
changes everybody's internal conversation. What do you think it is?
It's belief. It's God.
It's exercise.
Oh, really? Exercise. Okay.
Oh, you better listen, babe. You
Okay.
start working out. You start working out. You're going to start talking to yourself better. It's just natural. It's a natural thing.
What a great
When you start working
doorway
out, you're
in.
going to start to believe in yourself more. It's a
Mhm.
natural thing. It just naturally happens. It don't matter if you're an executive, if you're an
Yeah.
athlete, or if you're a person sitting under the bridge. I'm telling you right now, you start working out, your body is going to start doing some things internally that is absolutely magnificent. You're going to start talking to yourself differently. You're going to start
Mhm.
believing in yourself more. You're going to
Mhm.
start to have more creative, conscious conversations externally,
Uh-huh.
right? You'll even start getting away from people that are not good for you. You'll start naturally eating food that's better for you. All
Mhm.
these things happen when your internal conversation gets better. So, anyone who
Mhm.
decides they wanted to work with me or want me as their coach, the first thing we're going to do is get your body healthy. Your body
Mhm.
is your tool of creation.
Mhm.
You can't
Yep.
create anything without your body. You can't go anywhere on this planet without your body. Look at your life.
Yeah.
Look at whatever life you have, good or bad. Your body, it came from your body. Your
It's
DNA is in your body. You got 40 trillion cells in your body. So the thing is, when you start honoring your body, guess what happens, Louise? Now you're honoring your life, you're honoring your existence. And now that's the first stage and the first step to rebuilding yourself. You're
yeah.
never going to get to a better place in your life if you're still talking to yourself the same way. I don't care how much you work. You can work till the sun goes up and the sun goes down. If you do not change your internal conversation, nothing is going to change externally. I promise you that. It's the law of creation.
It is the law of creation. I really, really, really like what you're saying. I'm sort of a jock. I played volleyball in college, actually. I'm very short though. I was a setter.
I bet you did a
I
good job though
I
as a
really
setter.
wanted a spike, but I was a great setter. And so I'm still like a little bit of an athlete and I have to do my hiking and I have to, I have to I like to be outside, so I like to be outside. I'll ride my bike inside and I'll do my little exercise and stuff. But I really do believe in the body first. In fact, it's the first step of my system, which spells brain. B is body.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
first step. So you're right, the first step. But I love what you said about exercise because how many people know that that's really a doorway in to changing their personal self talk?
Yes.
That is really powerful. So
And
we
it works.
want
I'll tell you something, it works with everyone. So, Louise, I'm going
to,
to ask you a question and you're going to be proof and evidence of what we're talking about right now.
uh-huh.
You said you work out on a regular basis, you go for walks, you exercise at home, you do things to take care of your physical body. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
what happens, Louise, when you've missed 3, 4 days or maybe a
Oh,
week? Does
I
your internal conversation goes south, doesn't
It
it?
does. I don't like that at all. Sometimes I get busy with my work and I'm like, oh, and I actually swear, I'm just going to not say it here, but I go, oh, I got to get going again. I can feel it. So
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, and you know why? Because movement, watch this, we're talking about the law, not our
Uh-huh.
opinions, Louise. Movement is the law of your body. You and I are sitting still right now, but do you know everything inside of our body is moving?
Of course.
Everything.
Blood, lymph, everything's moving.
Everything
Yes.
is moving. Everything is
Hmm.
moving. And we're right now, you and I looking at each other and we're talking on the computer. You know what? We're emitting an energy and a frequency.
Yes.
Exercise increases your frequency and your emission of vibration. So, meaning you will get in contact with the things you desire quicker when you're working out and taking care of your physical body. Why? Because now
Hmm.
you're sending a very strong signal to existence and it
Hmm.
has to respond to you by the law of creation. It has to respond. It's not if, it's going to respond. And that's
Yes.
the thing, teaching people how to change that internal conversation so they can change their external life and the things they don't like about their external life. We
Hmm.
all have three powers. And you'll see that little logo up in the corner where you see that number 3.
Yeah, I do. Tell me those three powers.
These are the three powers, and you guys listen to me very carefully. These are the three powers that you use either consciously or unconsciously to create everything in your life. Everything is created by these three powers. And this is the law of your life. This is the law of existence. This is the law of your biology. And this is
Mhm.
also the law of creation. You have thought. Thought is one of your powers.
Mhm.
You have word. Your words are another power. And you
Mhm.
have deed. Your actions are another power. Now, each one of those have a different frequency, a different vibration in creation. Giving you
Mhm.
an example,
Mhm.
you know, Louise, an idea came to you to start a podcast show. I know it did because this is the law of creation. It happened to you just like it happens to everyone else.
Mhm.
So that idea popped in your head, didn't it?
Yes.
So now I'm going to
Yes.
ask you a question. Where did that idea come from? Have you ever asked yourself that question? It didn't come from you. Where did that
Yeah.
idea come from?
I love people. So that was the first thing. And when I was a kid, we actually put on plays. I was Batman, I was Peter Pan. We put on plays for our parents. I loved, I guess I loved acting, but I'm not an actress. And yet I was a special ed teacher in my first career. So I had to be an actress in front of those kids. And so, um, for me, it was the interaction and the interviewing. I also love listening to interview shows. Okay. So I sometimes, the Jimmy Fallon and the late night TV, I like to listen to them interview other people. And I love meeting new people. And so it was just a great fit. It was like, okay, I get to meet new people, I get to interview them, I get to learn about their life, and I can put it on, today we can put it on like a TV thing. We can put it on Zoom. We can have a podcast. How
Yeah,
cool is
yeah,
that? That's
yeah.
how it came.
So, life, again, back to my message in law, life knew what you were here for, and it was prompting you along the way. As you were
Yes.
experiencing these various things in your life, as a child, as a young
Mhm.
adult, certain things just turned you on. Certain things gave you chills. Certain things made you say, "Ooh, I like that." And what that
Mhm.
was, it was a
Mhm.
confirmation of your DNA, the stamp that's inside of your DNA for you doing what you're doing today. You are fully walking in your calling. You are fully walking in why you came here. You understand what I'm saying? That's why you have so
Mhm.
much joy. That's why you
Mhm.
have so much peace in what you do. And that's why you're not worrying about money. You're just worrying about the mission of what you're doing. You see,
Mhm.
this is the law of creation, and this is the same law that applied to me. It's the same law that applies to every single human being on this planet. So I tell
Mhm.
people, if you'll get those three energies symbiotic in a synergistic, harmonious way, your thoughts, your words, and your deeds, all moving the same direction for the same reason and the same purpose, guess what happens? You immediately start to manifest things because, again, all you have is the moment of now.
I love that. Thought, words, and deeds. Absolutely. That's beautiful.
So I tell people, if you want to change the external life, whatever you see that you don't like anymore,
Mhm.
or you want to transform, I want you to pay attention to what you're saying about it because you're giving
So
fuel to
good.
it. You
Yes.
see, it's here's what happens in your life. Nothing exists in your life unless you're feeding it. Your bad beliefs, you're
Mhm.
feeding it. Your good
Mhm.
beliefs, you're feeding it. Your negative
Mhm.
behavior, you're feeding it. Your
Mhm.
positive behavior, you're feeding it. Everything is being fed by you, by your beliefs, that internal conversation, and the actions you're taking by thought, word, and deed. That's how everything's created inside of you, and that's how
Mhm.
everything is created outside of you as well.
It's pretty simple, isn't it? I like how you speak about the laws. So one of my other teachers, Hannah Kroger, um, she taught us the 7 physical and spiritual causes of ill health. She was like the grandmother of natural health. And her sort of last step, one of the things in her book is about the law. It's the laws of nature. It's the laws of how of everything you're talking about. It's the laws of our words. It's the laws of thought. It's the law of God. It's the law of divinity. It's the law of what we are it's cause and effect, you know?
We're such
It's
powerful beings. It's unreal. We
yes.
have more power than we could ever. I mean, it's just I am discovering more power every day about me and my life and where I'm going. We all have these powers. Unfortunately, I see that real beautiful microphone you have on your desk. You're looking at me on a computer. I guarantee you have a cell phone, you have a car, you have a computer. Am I right about these things?
Yes.
Now, watch this. You are, by the design of the Almighty, you are a bioelectrical magnetic device. Did you hear
Wow.
me? You are a
E-
bioelectrical
Electrical.
magnetic device. And the reason why I lay that foundation first is because I'm getting ready to tell you something. All your electronic devices you have came with instruction manuals, didn't they?
Yes.
Let's just talk about your cell phone. When you bought your cell phone, wasn't there an instruction manual inside of that box?
Yes.
And what are instruction manuals for? They teach you and train you and educate you on how to optimize that device, how to use all
Yes.
of its features. If something gets broken, it'll show you how to troubleshoot it and fix it yourself. If you cannot fix it, it'll give you the manufacturer and the manufacturer's contact information so you can take it right back to the manufacturer and say, hey, this is what's going on with my phone. I can't fix it. Can you help me? And they'll fix it for you. Why? Because they created it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Mm-hmm.
stay with that example.
Okay.
When you came into this life and you manifested into that body, Louise, no one ever gave you an instruction manual on how to work your body. No one told you about your body being a self rejuvenating, healing organism by law.
Mm-hmm.
No one told you that your body had a certain frequency and vibration that you had the ability to increase or to diminish by your actions, behaviors, your thoughts, your ideas. All those things change your frequency.
Mm-hmm.
They never told you how to master living in this physical body. That's why people get sick. That's why people get older. It's just, I'm telling you, they just don't know how to live in their bodies. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm not saying this to impress you. I am
Mm-hmm.
saying this to impress upon you. I do not get sick.
Mm-hmm.
Why? It's because what I say to my body, I am healthy, I am wealthy, and I am wise. I say that to myself all day, every day.
Uh-huh.
That's my mantra. I tell people you're talking to yourself already. How do I know that? Because that's in your DNA. You're designed that way. I haven't met one human being that does not have an internal conversation with themselves.
Of
Every single one
course.
of us do. That's the law. So I always ask people, have you ever asked yourself, and I asked myself this question when I was 5 years old, going through all that abuse. Have you ever asked yourself this question? Where does that voice come from? Where's that coming from? And why does that voice sound like me? How come it don't sound like someone else? Why does that voice sound exactly like me, and where's it coming from? And
Mm-hmm.
why is it giving me all these thoughts and all this information? What is that all about? So I was,
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to figure all that out. And I'm like, oh man, here's what's going on. It's my higher self talking to me, my other self on this planet. That's why it's my voice, so I can pay attention and listen and not be fearful of it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's giving me all this information so I can have a choice. That's why I have good thoughts and bad thoughts, because there are no good thoughts and bad thoughts. The universe doesn't see things as good and bad, it just sees everything as energy. So I have positive thoughts and negative thoughts, if we want
Mm-hmm.
to call it that. And I get to choose. I get to choose which one I'm going to work with. I get to choose which one I'm going to feed. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
I told you you're feeding everything. So if
Yes.
you get a bad thought and you keep thinking about it, guess what? You're feeding it. And if you feed it and keep thinking about it and you start talking about it inside yourself, oh boy, you just went to the second level of creation. Oh boy, now you're starting to get a lot of energy on that. Oh, and then guess what else we do? We always go tell another human being, don't we? Oh man, I'm not feeling good. I feel sick. Oh, I'm broke. You always start telling people the problems that you're having, or the bad ideas or thoughts you're having inside of yourself. You always go share them with another human. Why is that? That's part of the law of creation. We need each other. This is a very deep thing, man. It's so
Mm-hmm.
powerful. Then once you've done that, you start taking action on it. It happens naturally. Everything in your life you've created that way. All the
Mm-hmm.
things you like, you've created that way, and all the things you don't like, you created that way. Matter of fact, Louise, we both came to this planet that way. Your mama and daddy thought about being together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They talked about being together. Eventually, they came together and they ended up having you as a beautiful child.
Mm-hmm.
You manifested into the physical reality of what we call life right now. That's exactly how it happened. That's how we all came here. Why? Because it's the law. Now, if you
Mhm.
understand that, you can use that to your advantage. You can start controlling your internal conversation. You can
Mhm.
make sure your thoughts, words, and deeds are harmonious and symbiotic and synergistic with each other. You get to
Mhm.
control all of this. And as soon as
Mhm.
you start doing it and you're consistent, your life will change. It has no choice.
Yes, yes. That's very incredibly wise. And that's so, so simple. And I'm thinking as you're speaking about this, I'm actually thinking about experience that I had in college. I had it was kind of a social work experience. I was a special education major, and we spent a whole summer in Peoria, living in a monastery. And there was 24 women and
Wow.
one man. And the
Wow.
one man was very biblical. Okay, he would speak all the Bible things, but his
The one man
act
was he was the problem. No, I'm
he
joking.
was. No, he
I know.
was. Here's what I learned from this, and I can still think about it because it was way back when. Yeah, this is like 40 years ago, right? His actions did not match what he said.
Yeah, he's a
And
man.
I would I would really like to argue with him, Anthony. I was just like, "Well, wait a minute. You said this, but you're doing this." And it was so hypocritical to me. And maybe I just knew back then that we're supposed to match, right? Thoughts, words, actions are supposed to match. Only I didn't have the words to say that at
Well,
that
so you
time.
see, I mean, you see
But
what
I
I was talking
saw it
about.
and I
Yes.
didn't like it.
Yes.
You know, I saw, and then when you spoke about bioelectric, we're bioelectric beings, you will love this. So, I actually teach people codes in the field that my teacher taught me that change your biocomputer. Your brain is a computer and it has capacitor rings around it.
Yes.
And there's rings around the brain, and those rings around the brain is the energy field of the brain. And
Yes.
when you change the energy field, you change the physical body. You have to start out here, and then it changes the physical, mental, emotional, all of it. And so I do a lot of energy work on that. And so we're actually changing your biocomputer to raise your frequency to help you actually have a better chance of getting the thoughts, words, and deeds aligned
Yes.
more quickly.
Yes. And you're
That's
absolutely
all
right.
it's doing. That's really
Well,
what it's doing.
energy itself is, by the nature of energy, it's already synergistic. The
Yes.
nature of energy is full of integrity. Okay.
Mhm.
That's why negative energy goes and finds other negative energy.
That's so true.
It just does. When you're a
Uh-huh.
negative person, you're operating in negative energy. So life itself will go find other events, other people, other situations to keep you in a negative place. If you heard what I said, you're going to realize, hey, man, there's another side of that coin. So if I will stay positive and speak positive, then life itself has no choice but to go find positive opportunities for me, positive people for me,
Mhm.
positive situations for me to keep me in a positive state.
Yes. I
And
have the
again, you have control over all of this. It's your choice, it's your decision. You can choose to live a life that's pitiful, or you can choose to live a life that's powerful. I choose power every single time.
Mhm. Mhm. You're a very good speaker too. I don't know why I see this, but I almost see you leading a church. Sorry, I have to say that to you. Um,
You know, what's
it's
weird is that you said that I used to be a preacher.
you mean you have the whole you're motivating people here, you know? I mean, that is just beautiful.
I
That's an
just, I,
amazing gift.
the thing is, I went through so much in my life, so much disbelief in myself, so much negative talk, just things that I just was going through in my life, and I just didn't believe in myself. And the reason why is because where I came from, the things that I
Mhm,
experienced as a child, the stories and lies that I was telling myself. And
mhm,
I didn't really come to this understanding until I went to Landmark. You see, the thing at
mhm.
Landmark, here's what they do. They'll push you in the corner until you take ownership for everything. They're not going
Yes.
to let you walk off and blame anybody. You see, I couldn't change that story until I stopped blaming people. I blamed my mother and my father for the abuse that I went through. I
Mhm,
blamed my mother and my father for the trials, tribulations, the failures and successes, as we call them in our society. I blamed
mhm,
my parents for that. Every
mhm,
time I failed, I blamed my dad. Every time I failed, blamed my mom. When I came up short, I
mhm,
blamed my parents and my family. I never
Mhm.
took ownership for it myself. And the reason why I couldn't take ownership because I didn't know who I was. I had no clue that I pre-designed this before I came here. I had no clue that I pre-designed my dad being in my life, my mom being in my life. I chose them. I chose my sisters. I chose my community. I chose
Mhm.
everything. You see, you are a choosing agent, regardless if you want to believe it or not. Now, my job is to help you get conscious about your choices, because no matter what you choose
Mhm.
will manifest.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
It
It's
will.
the choices.
If you choose bad stuff, it's going to manifest, man. It has no choice, because I just said the universe does not care about good or bad. It's not. That's not how the universe operates. It operates energy. We are all down here to learn how to
Mhm.
manipulate energy. That's what you're
Mhm.
here for. You're here to learn how to manipulate energy, and you're here to learn how to manipulate your energy, not anyone else's.
Mhm.
Yours. Now,
Mhm.
you can help other people. Here's what I've realized: I have the power to influence everything, but I don't have the power to change anything.
Mm.
God is the changing agent, not
Mhm.
me. I can influence anything. I can influence my health.
Mhm.
I can influence my finances. I can influence my relationships. I can influence other people by the way I act. Just like you said, see, I agree with you 100%. I believe this. If you can't live it, if you haven't lived it, don't try to give it. People
Mhm.
that, speak one way and act another way,
Mhm.
that's no integrity.
Mhm.
And if you'll notice, have you noticed that people that do that, do you notice that they usually have a major health crisis eventually?
Mhm.
Because every cell in your body is integrous. Why? Because every cell of your body is God. I know I keep saying that because I want you to understand, man, this stuff is so true that if you'll just grab a hold of it and just say to yourself, hey, you know what? I am a divine being. You know what? I do have all the power within me. You know what? I do create my life and my existence. You know what? I create everything with thought, word, and deed. And I have control over my thoughts, my words, and my deeds.
Mhm.
So right now, I am going to be the person that I want to be right now.
Mm. Powerful.
Because
Very
if you
powerful.
do that, if you live in the
Mhm.
moment of now and you act and you speak like the person you desire to be, guess what? You are that person.
You become that. Absolutely. It's pretty simple, isn't it? Oh my gosh, this has been just absolutely amazing. We could talk for hours. We'll probably have to have you back. Um, I just want to ask though, um, how what's one brain tip that you can leave our audience with?
A brain tip:
Yeah, brain tip.
start speaking better to yourself.
I thought you were gonna say that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm people. It sounds simple, but it is so freaking powerful, man.
Yep. Yep.
It's powerful. If you'll just stop for a second and look at your life, I promise your conversation has created it. And that's a good place to be. Don't judge yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Yes.
judge your observe what's going on. If it's not working for you, get rid of it. If it is working for you, put the gas on it. It's going to get bigger and it's going to get better. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get
Yes.
better. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get better. Why? Because that's the law of evolution. That's why we have kids coming on this planet with different brains. They're thinking differently, like you were talking about the DNA strands. That
Mm-hmm.
is evolution. This
Yes.
thing is going to happen regardless if you want it to or not. It's happening
It's
right now.
happening. It is. Well, we're all up leveling. That's how it feels to me.
Well,
Like
you
we're
know
all
why it
up
feels that way to
leveling.
you? Because you're an
Mhm.
enlightened being and you are a person that's looking for the greatness of who you are. You're looking for the opportunity to serve humanity in a positive way. That's
Mhm.
why it feels good to you. But for
Mhm.
those that are lost, they feel like this is the worst place in the world we've ever been in humanity.
Yeah, no, I just really love I love what's happening in the world right now for all of us in terms of the push that we're getting to be in a higher spiritual plane.
Yeah,
It almost feels like DNA is changing
it is.
in some people, and I love that part. I'm pretty excited about that. Um, Coach Cujo, tell us how people can get a hold of you. I know you're on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, but what's the best way for them to get a
The
hold of you?
best way, the best way to contact me, and I would love to have a conversation with anyone who's interested in talking about how to get to a more powerful place in their life. You have the ability. I just want you to understand that. I don't care where you are, how broke you are. I don't care. I don't care where you are. If you're breathing, man, we can turn this thing around.
You're breathing.
I'm telling you, that's how easy it is. As long as God's giving you breath, you're still here. I know you're here for your purpose. You can reach me at urh30.com. Now, those are letters.
Okay.
So it's the letter U, the letter R, the
Mhm.
letter H, the number 3, the letter O as in Oscar.com.
.com.
Now you'll go to that landing page. It's just a landing page. It gives you a little bit of background about me, the people I've worked with, the organizations I've worked with, just so you'll kind of know who I am a little bit more. And then you'll go to the bottom of the page and you can schedule a call with me. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. It's a free 30 to 40-minute conversation. But when you call me, be ready, man. I'm like vinegar. Louise, you already know vinegar is good for you, right?
I'm gonna call you again. We're gonna do this again.
Apple cider vinegar is really good for you folks, but let me tell you something, it's tough going down. And the reason why the conversation may be a little tough is because I'm going to be coming against some of your limited beliefs that you have.
Yeah.
I'm going to be coming against some of the negative talk that you're talking to yourself because I know that's what got you into this situation that you may be in. Or I'm going to help you to identify why you can't get to the next step in your life. There's a reason for it. And if I talk
Mhm.
to you for about 30 or 40 minutes, it's going to be revealed to me. And I'll share that with you. And you'll have a
Mhm.
choice to take new action moving forward when you get off the phone with me, or
Uh-huh.
you'll have a choice to go back to doing what you were doing before. It's your choice. But make no
Yes.
mistake about it, I'm not here to try to convince you of anything. I'm not here to try to transform your beliefs, your ideas about anything. I'm here to show you how to use that body that God gave you. No one ever gave you an instruction manual. That's why you're not using the device properly. If you're still chasing your dreams, that lets me know you don't know who you are. You stand still. You're a magnet. I told you that. Magnets don't chase anything. Magnets stand still and things come to magnets.
That's
And you
right.
are a
They
magnet.
attract it. Mhm.
Absolutely.
They
You're an
attract
attractive
it.
being. That's it. That's it. That's the end of the story. So that's how they can get in contact with me. And
Awesome.
Louise, I'm going
Thank
to take
you.
this moment. I want to take this moment to acknowledge you. I want to thank you so much, deeply from my heart, for the work that you're doing in this world. You are a leader. It was divinely given to you before you were born. I'm so glad that you are answering your calling. Excuse me for crying.
You're I'm crying too.
I'm so
Oh,
thankful and happy for you. We need more people like you on this planet, especially now. So I tell you, don't doubt what God has put in your heart. You continue to run forward. Continue to help as many people as you can. Don't pay attention to the
mhm.
outside world. Don't let it change who you are on the inside. Keep your form, Queen. And I say thank you. Thank you for providing a platform for me. Thank you for serving your tribe. And thank you for being a woman who lives your life with integrity.
Oh gosh, thank you. Thank you, Coach Kuja, for your words, for your wisdom, for being with us today, um, for how you stand in your power, for your vulnerability, for your ability to speak from your heart, for all the work that you're doing in the world, and how you have presented it to people, how much change you're helping others through the change that you made in yourself. It is an amazing gift, and I honor you for being with us today. So thank you so much. I think we're going to have to do this again. We could like
I
hang
look
out.
forward to it. I
Yeah.
look forward to it. And
We,
everybody in the audience listening to me right
yeah.
now, I send you my love and I send you my light. And I pray that you would wake up and discover who you really are. And you would not be fearful to walk forward. If you walk forward and say yes, I promise you the money will come.
That's so awesome. So thank you again, Coach Kuja. And remember, everyone, follow your heart, but take your brain with you.
Yes.